Golden Knights is officially meta, with this composition getting consistently first place in full challenger lobbies. This is a hyper roll build, and I will take you step by step through the leveling, positioning, and how to manage our bench while we're rolling down from 50 gold. My name is JinxJK, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the hyper roll knight composition. But first, a quick piano intro. So with the XP changes in patch 9.18, we have an extra round before we naturally hit level 5. This allows for more time for us to hit 50 gold. And now with player damage changes in patch 9.19, we can get to 50 gold without taking too much damage. What this has done is it has enabled a hyper roll meta where we're going to be upgrading our 1-cost units to 3 stars. And now with the addition of Giant Slayer this patch, it allows for our 3-star 1-cost unit to have enough damage for the late game. So let's quickly take a look at the leveling guide. We will not be touching up the level up button at all in the beginning. What this will allow for is for us to hit level 5 naturally on this stage. So what your goal will be is to hit 50 gold by this round, so we can spend it all on this stage right before we hit level 5. What you're aiming for is about 30 to 40 gold by Krugs. You want to lean more towards 40 gold. Now, what I want you to do is scout during the Krug round. If other people are contesting your build, meaning if someone else is going to be going for a hyper roll knights composition as well, then what you can do is you can spend a little bit of gold in the creep round. So that way you have increased chances of finding the units before they take them out of the pool already. Because most people will be rolling on this round. So you're rolling 2 rounds early. But don't spend all of your gold. You want to drop to, let's say if you're at 40 gold, drop down to 30. Still keep your economy up, so that way you still have your majority of your gold to spend here. And again, same thing. Feel free to spend maybe another 10 gold on this stage if someone else is contesting your build. Otherwise, save it all, and you should be at about 50-60 gold on this stage. This is where we're going to be hyper rolling to get our 3-cost units. Now, the priority units that you're looking to get to 3-star are Mordekaiser and Vayne. Mordekaiser recently got buffed, so he's helping out with that damage in the early game, and same with Vayne, she's going to be your other damage source, and basically your main carry going into the late game. So that's what you're prioritizing on this roll down. If you hit those 2 units to 3-star, stop spending your gold. Maybe you have 20 gold left, stop. You do not need to keep going for that Garen and the Darius into 3-star. Those will be good enough to carry you through the mid game. Now, if you have not hit any 3-stars, maybe you're 1 Vayne away, you're 2 Mordekaisers away, maybe 3 Garens away, after the hyper roll round, we do not continue rolling on these stages, even if it's just 1 Vayne away. We will be saving up all the way until Wolves. The other hyper roll round will come after Wolves, but what I want you to do is when you're rolling down after Wolves on this stage, you're going to save 12 gold. What that allows you to do is, if you hit your 3-star units, great, but with 12 gold, you'll be able to level up to 6 and throw in that 4-knight with the Vayne composition for a really strong mid-game boost. Now let's talk about the early game units that you will be using. We're going to be starting off either with a 2-knight Vayne opener or with your standard nobles opener, whichever one you get, using either the Fiora or the Lucian. Going into that level 4, this is where you want to use the 2-knight plus noble synergy. And now this is the hyper roll round. It's going to be at level 4. And let's talk a little bit about bench management. What I want you to do is prioritize the Mordekaiser and Vayne. We will also be picking up Garen and Darius as well. They are units that we are trying to 3-star. So now what we're doing is only if you have the bench space, we're going to be holding onto the Poppy on the bench. Otherwise, we're looking for these units. Now, at level 5, this is where you can play just a third knight if you have it upgraded. If not, it's still at 1. We can go ahead and just use a Varus or an Ashe, whichever one we found, but do not upgrade them. Just keep them at 1 star and just use them for the Ranger buff, especially if your Vayne is a 3-star unit. Now, what you can also do at level 5 is if we did find that Poppy and you were able to grab onto it because you had the bench slot for it, this is where we're going to be taking out the Fiora as the 4-knight buff is more consistent at level 5. Let's assume though that we did not find the Poppy. Now, going into that wolf round after it, when I told you to save that 12 gold, this is where we're going to be able to get a really big mid-game power spike. We're leveling up so that we can hit 6 and go for a win streak with the 4-knight while retaining the noble buff. If on the roll down, going down to 12 gold, you happen to find a kindred, again, we're taking out nobles and we're adding in the Phantom plus Ranger synergy at level 6. Now from this position, you have 2 options based on if we get Knight's Vow or not. If we do not get the Knight's Vow, you're going to be going for a 4-knight for Ranger composition, which is done at level 8 with the Ashe and the Varus. They're going to be our sacrificial units. That's why we're putting them in the corners here against assassins, because they're just there for the 4 Ranger buff. Vayne is our main carry. Now, if we do get the Knight's Vow, this is where our build can come online at level 7, and instead we're looking for Sejuani at level 7 to complete our build. Let's quickly touch on items and item priority in that first and second carousel. The first item that you want on the Vayne is the Giant Slayer, as that's basically all of her damage. So on that first carousel, you're looking either for a recurve bow or a BF sword. And in that second carousel, you're going to look for the component that you did not get to complete the first Giant Slayer. And the second item after that will be the Rage Blade. So in order, you're looking for Giant Slayer, Rage Blade, and then your second Giant Slayer. If we do not get a second Giant Slayer, a great option is the Runon's Hurricane. And of course, you're looking for the Knight's Vow with the Spatula and Chain Vest after we've gotten some damage items on Vayne. Now, the majority of our BF swords will be going towards making the Giant Slayer. Let me take this out first so we can put that back. But if you do have extra BF swords, that's when we're going to be looking to be making the Guardian Angel and Merelonomicon. Now, here's the deal. If your Garen has been upgraded to a 3-star and you have the Merelonomicon early, don't worry about transferring it over to Sejuani. Just go ahead and use these items on the Garen. If your Garen is not upgraded, you have him at 2-star and you have maybe another 2-star sitting on the bench, but you're just not finding the last 3 Garens, and your Sejuani is upgraded to a 2-star, I want you to sell this Garen, put in the other one you have on the bench, and transfer these items to the Sejuani. Now, I want to go into a little bit more detail on positioning. This positioning here is against ninja assassins, which are actually quite powerful right now. What this does is it boxes in your Vayne and Kindred, because sometimes these melee units will just not walk up if they have their units here or here. And this keeps everyone in this formation, and with a Kindred getting a perfect ult on the majority of your units. Now, if there are no assassins, what I want you to do instead is move these units up here. And against Sorcerer, you want to have 1 on each side, so that hopefully the Aurelian Soul or units like Varus, Ari are ulting in these directions, not towards the Vayne. And we're going to be putting Kindred in the middle here, because sometimes what happens is if she's in the back row, she'll walk up a little bit too far from the Vayne, and the Vayne will get stuck here, then Kindred will walk up, and then she doesn't get that ulti around the Vayne. So this is the positioning to keep that Vayne inside the Kindred ult. If your Sejuani has the Guardian Angel, I want you to move these units over here, so that way she takes mana really fast. She's taking a lot of damage, giving her mana really fast. Because she has the Guardian Angel, if she does die, she comes back and ults right away. If she does not have the Guardian Angel, put these two units beside her, so that way she does not die before getting her ult off. Now, I want to show you a variation in the case that you did not 3-star your Vayne on that Hyper Roll round, and instead you are able to 3-star Darius, Mordekaiser, two of the 3 knights. What you're going to be going for instead is, because our Vayne is not 3-starred, you can look for Katarina, Draven, and eventually the Swain. Meaning we are going to be selling this Vayne, and once we find that Swain, we have our 4-knight, 4 Imperial composition with your upgraded 3-star knights. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way up to this point. I really do appreciate it. Enjoy the build, have fun with it, gaining that LP. Let me know in the comments down below how you do with it, and make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all of the new guides that I'll be bringing every single week. And as a final note, I do stream over at twitch.tv/JinxJK 5 days a week, so I'll be saying hi to you guys over there. See you in the next video.